We had a very crazy summon session yesterday. We wound up walking away with not only Hajime, but everyone from Genshin. So today we gotta show off the man. This guy has been terrorizing the JP side ever since he came out. Let me tell you, as someone who has invested quite a bit of time with this guy already, he's definitely worth the hype. The thing that makes Hajime Hajime is this passive. This passive gives his skill an additional 60 art gauge, and it doubles his super art multiplier and break power at the beginning of battle. The break power buff is kind of whatever, but the super art multiplier buff is insane, considering that his super art goes all the way up to 460k. That would have been enough, but they gave it accuracy and they also gave it 150% damage rest down as long as you're not in a stats element. Yama P, are you trying to break the game? He's offering a bit more though than just this DPS, which I am super appreciative of, like this art that's being able to buff up his own stats along with everyone else's stats by a pretty substantial amount. By the way, this actually is perfect for him because his other ability is dual boost, which gives him more damage based on his attack and defense. His true art also gives everybody art gauge and reduces physical res by 100%. This is burst art, so it works with everyone in the game. In terms of his slots, he has a 5-star physical, 5-star support, and a 4-star defense. For 5-star physical, you guys better be rocking out with that true weapon. Not only is this thing the Dark True Owen, this thing gives him 30% attack, defense, and break power, which, as we just mentioned before with that dual boost, more attack and defense is never a bad thing. But the 5-star support, highly recommend that you just go some type of AoE arch in here. If you're nuking with him, recommend that if you're doing something that's less than 3 stages, using something like Axis or maybe a type 0 just to help your team out. But if you know he's gonna have 300 art gauge and you're not worried about everyone else's arts, hey man, throw on something that's just gonna buff up his damage even more. With a 4-star defense, just use it to counter whatever boss you're fighting. In terms of the crest slots on this character, I feel like there's a few you can go with them. If you don't want to go art gauge up, you don't have to because the skill gives you so much. I like going art gauge up though, just in case if I do go up against a fight where there's not 3 stages and I can only use my skill twice before getting to the boss. This just kind of helps me guarantee that I'm going to be able to get my super art. If you don't want to go with art gauge up, attack up is amazing for him. And surprisingly, defense up is also not too bad. His animations are one of the most important things when it comes to a unit like this. The skill, very fast. Really good stuff here. You pop it, instantly get that 100 art gauge, right? The art is really quick. Like as soon as you swipe up, you see he starts punching. It's just very short range. I'm currently using Hajime in the mines, and I'm noticing that as long as he's, close enough, he pretty much deals with all the ads by himself. His true art and super art is going to be very similar, I will say that. But I like this because he's a burst arch gener. Pop the true art, get in the animation, get out of it. Now the super art looks like it may only have 1 hit to it, but the super art actually has a total of 10 hits, with most of the damage coming from that first initial hit. Why is that important? Well, if this guy just had 1 singular hit, he would kind of be like how Saitama was back in the day, where if you did enough damage to kill the boss, you can just go through thresholds. Like let's say a boss has like 30 million HP, but Sajime hits him with a 50 million attack and it's 1 hit. Well, the boss is dead. Like the threshold never happened because the boss would just die. So they definitely thought about that. They didn't want to make him too broken, but he's still extremely broken, man. Now, when it comes to team building with Hajime, it's so simple. The fact that this guy's able to arch in, he's giving you stats up, so he's functioning as a healer, and he's just this all-out DPS character, you can kind of throw him literally anywhere. But let's show you the nuke team first because that's what we want to see, right? You will want to use his art whenever you can, and if you're able to, you'll want to use it also in a nuke because it does give him the additional stats, which will increase his innate damage ups by quite a bit. So Hajime hit for 62 milli. 62 million damage instantaneously like that is insane, and also considering the fact that you could technically run a strat where you have 2 nukers on the team to an extent with Hajime and someone else and just like blow up bosses thanks to this huge debuff that is that 150% DR down. Like if we go against literally any fight in the game right here, this is going to be a special EX. These poor samurai. We go into the next fight here, we're going to be having our super art pretty much, and once I pop off with the skill here, then I pop off with this, and then this, like we have our super art. So like, or actually no, we don't, but now we do. There we go. And yeah, like Hajime's just gonna insta kill. Look at this, watch, and dead. Like it's insane. I mean, of course there's other characters that can do something like this, but the fact that you just have a unit that is able to do this to not only just these special EX fights, but also mines bosses. Pop off with this, pop off with that, do that. Make sure we have the crit rate up too. Watch Palamecia just die. Goodbye, Palamecia. It was nice knowing you. And mind you, we're on floor 71. We're not that deep into the mines, but we're pretty far at the moment. And ladies and gentlemen, this right here is like where you're going to be seeing like peak performance Hajime when it comes to his DPS. Since his damage does fall off after initial use of a super art on whatever wave you're on, you're not going to be seeing very high damage numbers and very long pieces of content, but like, you know, that initial hit, man, it's possible that you get all the way to where you need to be within just one super art. So if you're curious about how much damage up Saito currently has with like his attack up, his defense up, plus his true weapon factored in, he should have around 118% damage up because I'm assuming the game rounds up. But look at this, we're going to pop this, make sure that we don't get frozen. There we go. And now we are off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. So in a situation like this, I kind of want to be a bit more self-conscious about when I go off with that super art. At the very beginning here, I don't think we're going to be getting a lot of value if I just use it right now. Holy Knight Roy's most amount of health is at the end here. If I really want to, I could save his super art for a lot later until I actually killed Roy once and he did his revive. Evasion rate, we have all this stuff going on right now. I'm going to hope that we don't get clapped off by Roy right here because he is going to deal quite a bit of damage since we don't have a barrier up, but now we have a barrier, so we should be a-okay. And we got frozen. We do not want that. Just trying to keep everybody topped up on the art gauge if I can here. See that we're doing pretty good here. We unfortunately got frozen right there. We don't like that at all. After doing the last showcase with Sagara, you know, I got used to that 200% freeze res on the whole team. We are like really close to breaking, and I don't want to break just yet, but he probably will break, won't he? Okay, thank God he didn't get broken. Okay, so like right here is where I could use Hajime's like super art, and this is probably where I will actually use it. There we go. We got to break off. We're going to be pumping off with the super art here. We're going to also do this just to make sure that we are okay. We're not even going to worry about dealing damage with anyone else because Hajime has it. Look at that. Boom. Taking him all the way down. And now the only thing that we're worried about here is just making sure that we get into another super art with Hajime, and as long as we do that, we should be a-okay, which we're going to be getting that happening literally right now. He also has accuracy up, so every single hit is going to be hitting this man, Ultimate Paladin Roy, and oh, he actually didn't kill right there, which that is another thing too. Hajime does not have innate crit chance or defense ignore. You have to provide that to him. So if he maybe had a physical res down or something else, we probably would have seen a death right there. But as you see, we clean up with the rest of the team. So in sustain, he's just more of this arch chinning character that has this huge nuke button. And as long as you're a bit more self-conscious with it, you could throw it out in the very beginning if you want to just have that DR down on the enemy, perfectly fine. Or you could like be really patient with it and wait till like the second or third threshold of a boss, or whenever the boss has the most HP. So if you got my brother Hajime, or you're summoning for him, or you're debating if you should get him, I personally would say if you do get him, it is a huge dub and he helps out your account so much. This guy has very few weaknesses and most of them you can work around. The only ones that you can't really work around, his race type being human. If you fight a boss that's just immune to human damage or like it just is a human killer, you can't use Saito against him. Hands down the best unit from this crossover, just when it comes to usability, how versatile they are. If you got this guy, he's kind of a cheat code. I'm gonna be honest with you. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been your boy P. Tell me down below what teams are you using with Hajime, or if you got him, what are you using him against? Also, if you enjoyed this video, highly recommend check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.